Greetings, internet drinking buddies. My name is Link. The show's name is Tubbin and Chuggin, and on this episode, I'll be imbibing eggnog, pre-mixed eggnog. Welcome back to the tub, everybody. Now, as the holiday season starts to roll in here, at least in the States, you got your Thanksgiving, your Christmas. Around this time of year, there's no better drink than an eggnog, at least in my opinion. With that in mind, I went out to the stores and saw there's some pre-mixed liqueur eggnogs already out there. So we'll be taking a look at those. Before that, let's take a look at eggnog in general, starting with the name, whose etymology is a little bit debated. We have some coming in on the side that noggin, this Middle English term for a small wooden mug used to serve alcohol, is where you get the nog from the egg. We have others on the side that grog, a term for rum. Egg and grog eventually becomes eggnog. There's some debate out there. There's a few other kind of instances and maybe derivations of the word, but where we get to is this dairy-based beverage with egg yolks and, optionally, alcohol mixed in. The alcohol you mix in is typically rum, though it's very common for it to be somewhat of a mix. Maybe you have a sherry, a brandy type thing in there, maybe a whiskey. And for example, in the American South, you more often see it with bourbon. Southern Comfort has their own little mix, which will not be one of the ones I'm trying here today because these are the pre-mixed ones. That one is sort of a just add SoCo type thing. If you're not buying sort of a pre-made one, there are so many of these homemade recipes out there. Maybe your family even has one for how you start the broth, if you will. You know, that could be cow's milk, soy, any kind of other sort of thing like that, cream, sugar, as well as like all the toppings that you would put in at the end. I personally am a fan. A little bit of nutmeg in there, a little cinnamon stick, really adds to the not only the aroma but the taste as well. So we'll start with the Kirkland variety, which will run you $10 for a handle of 14.75% alcohol by volume. I wonder if there's like a thing where like if it's 15, they've got to do something different. I don't know. Both of these are 14.75. And regardless of that, you'll be paying 77 cents a drink if you buy the handle over there at Costco. And with that, you'll need to pour about 136 milliliters or 4.5 ounces to get one drink's worth. So with that amount, I'm going to be using this 200 milliliter mug from the Dresden Christmas Market over there in Germany. Very nice place. Don't know if that's open this year. But it fills it up nicely. It's a good little amount for this type of alcohol. And for its mix, it lists whiskey, spiced rum, brandy, and French vanilla to go along with the real dairy cream. I bought one of these last year. I remember enjoying it, so we'll see how much of that is memory and how much of that is not memory. Cheers! The cinnamon stick kind of fell in there a little bit. Yeah. That's pretty good. For 77 cents a drink, that is very good. You're paying like value liquor prices almost, and you're getting like wine quality out of it. So what does eggnog kind of like taste like? What's the experience like? We'll start with this, as I think it's one of the cheaper sort of options you can go buy if you have a Costco near you. And in a lot of ways, it's milk. It's a milk-like kind of thick drink. And if you add more cream or you add more sugar as like a homemade one, you can kind of adjust that level. This one feels like pretty like middle of the road as far as thickness of the cream. And the egg, depending on what you do with the egg, is really kind of how you get the fluffiness of the drink. And being sort of a pre-mixed liqueur that's kind of meant to be like refrigerated for a while, typically those ones are not going to be as sort of hardcore on the egg. If you make these your own, you can kind of do that with your own way. This one, it's there. It's like maybe like more of a poached kind of egg, if anything. But honestly, for the most part, the drink is so heavy that the alcohol is very muted in its taste. It's like I listed this concoction of alcohols that are in it, and like maybe I'm getting a little bit of rum. I don't know. It's like not a signature to a thing. It's a cocktail of a rum sherry, what is it, rum, brandy, whiskey, French vanilla, all mixed into this thick kind of milky thing. So it's got this alcohol content to be just drowned out by, instead of sugar like we see a lot on this channel, just like a thick creamy milk. You know, to which you add in the little nutmeg kind of sprinkles along it, and the cinnamon for like a more of an aroma to kind of stir the pot thing. Very, very little residual cinnamon. Definitely not like a fireball kind of cinnamon, but in that neighborhood of just there. It was a very pleasant drink. It's not going to blow you away by any stretch of the imagination, I don't think, but for the price, it's, I think, an amazingly good value. And if you like it, your eggnog to be a specific way, you probably have a recipe for it, so you don't really like care to go that much into wholesale price value for this kind of thing. So yeah, overall, excellent price-performance ratio. Very low kind of like alcohol taste at all, if any. Mainly just like a thick kind of creamy milk with that fluffy poached egg kind of after effect on it. Not like a runny yolk or anything, just like a, I don't know, like a little fluff to your milk. Good value. So now let's move on to the Trader Joe's variety, which is going to come in at the same 14.75%. This time at $8 for a fifth, not a handle. Which bumps it up to $1.44 a drink, which is nearly twice as much as the Kirkland brand. Now, Costco offering a savings on one of their Kirkland branded products isn't exactly newsworthy. At the same time, it is a spike in a price that puts us up to like kind of seltzer level, you know, that just below $1.50 kind of level, a little bit more than $1. It's way beyond liquor. It's not quite to wine yet, so it's the kind of like hike we have to get into. At the same time, we're only paying for a fifth, so given that, you know, you might not be able to host as many just large holiday gatherings, you might not want to down a whole handle of eggnog. Maybe the fifth is kind of more what you're going for, and you pay less, you know, 8 versus 10. So there is some value to still be obtained there, and possibly it's more likely you have a Trader Joe's near you than a Costco. What about the ingredients on this one? Well, it also has real dairy cream, spice rum, and French brandy. Not French vanilla, French brandy. So no whiskey in this one. Maybe perhaps less of a vanilla taste. Now, I haven't tried this one before. We'll be drinking it out of a Wausau, Wisconsin, kind of similar shaped mug, a little bit bigger, so it looks like it's a little bit less full. But Wausau, where my folks are, the Midwest sort of Christmas vibe, so felt appropriate. Cheers. Ooh, that's got a little kind of upshot at the end. Hold on, I'm trying to find that again. It's got like an afterglow, a very nice, just kind of like explosion of warmth at the end to it. It's, I kind of want to get it again. Quite describe it. It's like just a nice like feeling of warmth, almost just kind of radiating from your mouth after it. Not like a burn, but just like it feels like cozy to drink. I actually really like this. It's so pleasant. It's like I really can't describe it. Like a cinnamony kind of warmth. It might just be the stick, but it's much more. It wasn't in the Kirkland one, so I imagine it's not the stick, but maybe that's helping in some way. A very cozy vibe to it. The overall kind of drink is definitely less thick than the Kirkland one. This one is more of like a slim milk kind of thing than that one. So if you're looking for that like heavier cream one, maybe this is the one you're going for. If you're looking for something lighter, this might be your choice. It's still fun. I really wish I could explain this better. It pops right at the end in such a like magical way. I'm very happy drinking this. Okay, I don't know if it's twice as good as the Kirkland one, but I do think I would drink more of this, which makes me sad that this one's only a fifth and that one's a handle. So nice. Yeah, it's like a crescendo or something at the end of a song. I don't know. It's very fun. Very good stuff. Yeah. I like both of these a lot. This one, definitely my favorite of the two, but twice as much. In that kind of like, what I would like it more. I actually kind of like the less thicker kind of one to it. Not as like heavy of a cream. Maybe you could put like a little bit of whipped cream or something in this one if you wanted that extra thing. But at that point, I'd highly recommend just looking into making your own kind of eggnog recipe, as they are a very fun drink to make. I would recommend them overall. But I don't think you can really go wrong with either of these two. Whichever one you're looking for, whether it's just more, or whether it's a little bit of a more poppy kind of one, a little bit less thick. Trader Joe's one. But yeah, both of them great. As always, let me know if there are alcohols you'd like to see me review, and please drink responsibly.